Hello friends! Welcome to the very first video in our 12 Days of Christmas video series. If you didn't already know, for the first 12 days of December, I'm going to be uploading a YouTube video every single day. I hope you're ready for lots of videos from me. In this first video, we're going to be making the milk jug tumbler from Craft Haven. I did an unboxing of all the Craft Haven cups a few months ago, and I got a lot of requests to do a tutorial using the milk jug. Of course, during the holiday season, when you think of milk, you think of Santa. So I just kind of ran with that theme. I really like how this turned out, and this would be super cute to sit out next to your fireplace or the Christmas tree. Wherever you leave Santa his milk and cookies when he comes to deliver your presents, he'll have some nice ice cold milk to drink when he comes to your house. I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. Make sure you come back tomorrow for another brand new Christmas video, and I hope you enjoyed this one. If you do, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel so you don't miss any new videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, enjoy the video. Let's go! We are, of course, going to be using a milk jug from Craft Haven for this design. This is this smaller size, but they also have a larger 17-ounce size as well. So I'm going to set the lid aside and we'll work on that later. And we're going to start by wrapping the middle of our cup with this super cute red and white buffalo check pattern vinyl from the Vinyl Cottage. So I'm just going to do the true middle of the cup. I'm taking some painter's tape here and I'm taping off a straight line at the top right about where the cup starts to taper upwards. I really don't want to work on any of the tapered portions of this cup. I really just want this to be in the middle, right where it's straight, if that makes sense. So then at the bottom, I'm going to cut the vinyl right at where that natural ridge is at the bottom of the cup. And I'm just going to trim my vinyl by hand because we're going to cut the excess off from the top and bottom anyway. So the only straight lines that matter on your vinyl are on the sides where we're going to adhere to the cup. So I did my little ruler trick there. I drew a straight line up and down my cup so that I can use that as a guide for how to place my vinyl. I'm peeling up a piece of that vinyl, cutting off the backing, and now I've got a little strip that I can adhere right to that straight line that I drew, and then I can check and make sure that it's on straight and that everything's going to wrap around the right way before I adhere the entire piece of vinyl to the cup. So once I've done that, I'm just going to smooth the vinyl onto the cup with my thumbs. On these smaller cups, it goes by so fast you can just whiz right through it. Then I'm going to cut off the excess and keep that for later, and then lay down whatever excess vinyl we've got. And this was pretty impressive. I got it pretty straight, so I'm not going to cut off any of the excess from the seam in the middle of the cup, but I am going to cut off the excess from the top and bottom, of course. So I'm taking my craft knife and I'm just putting it in that natural ridge that this cup has at the very bottom, and I'm running the knife along that ridge to trim off the excess vinyl at the bottom. So I had to find the seam. I did a pretty good job. I couldn't even find the seam. And I'm going to peel back that excess vinyl at the bottom. And then I'm going to go up to the top and just use the tape line as my guide to cut off the excess at the top. If you don't get this cut line perfectly straight up at the top, it's totally okay. We're going to cover this top portion with glitter anyway. So don't worry if you mess up your cutting or you don't cut straight. It's totally okay. Just do the best you can. So I'm going to remove that tape along with the excess vinyl, and now we're left with just our vinyl wrapped portion of the cup. So the way I get these on my turners is I take these foam inserts, put them on my rods. I have an MH turner, and I just kind of shove the foam and the rod into the cup, and I twist as I go, making sure that I leave a little bit of that foam hanging out so that I can pull it out later. And then every coat of epoxy I do, I'm going to take some electrical tape and tape off a tiny little sliver of that top rim where our lid is going to screw on, and then I tape all the way up a little bit to the rod so our cup is secure on this rod and isn't going to sag or slouch or anything on our turner. I'm going to spray a very light little ombre of this gold metallic spray paint from Rustoleum as a base for our glitter, and you can see I went over that top seam or edge of our vinyl, so you can't see really that seam in the end. And now I'm going in with the Crystalac glitter glue, and you can see my brush strokes here. I'm going pretty normal at the top, and then when I get to the bottom, I'm going to kind of flick my brush up to give that natural brush stroke texture. And then I'm going to take Queen Bee from PDB, ooh, that rhymes, And I'm going to just cover the entire top portion of the cup with this glitter and let it kind of fade out, almost like a waterfall ombre technique. We don't want the glitter to go down into our buffalo check too far, which is why when we applied our glitter glue, we only went to the end of the gold spray paint. So you can really just kind of let this glitter fall. You don't have to be super careful with your application because we put that glitter glue just where we wanted the glitter to be. So I let that dry about 2 hours, and then I went in with my glitter glue again to seal everything up. I'm going to seal the entire cup, so I'm starting with that bottom vinyl portion, and then I'm going to go up to the top glitter portion to seal that as well. I'm going to let this dry overnight, and then I'm going to apply one coat of epoxy, a really thin one, just about 15 milliliters. I do try and remember to remove that electrical tape that we put on our rod to keep our cup on the turner. I removed that about 30 minutes after applying the epoxy. So once I've got that first coat on there, I'm going to take some painter's tape, take a little bit of the stickiness away, and then I'm going to tape off this bottom portion of our cup, and we're going to glitter that a different color. So I'm just laying this painter's tape as carefully as I can right up on the edge of that vinyl. And we're going to use pop of color paints to paint the base of this. You can use spray paint, you can use regular acrylic paint, whatever you have on hand is totally fine. So I'm going to use this red pop of color paint, and I'm going to do just a pretty nice solid coat of this. You don't need a perfect base because we're going to add glitter. I just wanted to have a red base so the glitter would get a little bit better coverage. And I'm going to go right in with the glitter after this. I'm using Scorpion from PDB, so we're using the paint as the adhesive for this glitter. I'm going to sprinkle the entire bottom of the cup, make sure we've got really good coverage. Scorpion is a fine cut glitter, so it's going to give us pretty solid, nice coverage. I'm going to let that dry just about an hour, remove my tape, and then I'm going to spray seal it with clear gloss spray from Rustoleum, just one pretty solid coat. When I removed the tape, I did have a little bit of paint that kind of seeped through, so I just cleaned that up with rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. After the spray paint sealer was dry, I went in with another coat of epoxy. That one was about 15 milliliters as well. And now I'm ready to go in and do all of my decal work. So on one side of the cup, I wanted to do this cute Milk for Santa decal. And then on the other side, I wanted to put this super adorable, I love him, vintage Santa kind of head portrait thing. Anyway, I created this Milk for Santa SVG. It will be available in my digital shop on Etsy. Remember, that is different from my main Etsy shop. I do have both of them linked in the description box. And members of my Patreon group will get this file for free along with a bunch of others each month, and a lot of other benefits as well. So if you wanted to join my Patreon group, that is also linked down in the description box. So I created a white offset for this. It is included in the file. And I'm going to place that down first. I'm using this vinyl that has a clear backing, which is so cool, I think. And I'm just placing that on one side of the tumbler, and then I'm going in with this red chrome vinyl on top. This is from Tech Wrap Craft, and it's so beautiful. I love it so much. And I'm going to lay this entire decal down in one piece. I know I usually break it down word by word, but I'm feeling a little bit more confident lately, so I did it all in one big piece, and it worked out pretty well, so that was good. Then on the other side, I'm going to add our cute vintage Santa picture. I used printable vinyl for that, and just cut it out on my silhouette. I used the print and cut, and it worked out really well, which doesn't always happen, so that was really good. I did print out two just in case I messed one up. I would rather have one and not have to go back and print out a whole nother sheet, so I always will print two of what I'm doing. And I'm just going to place that directly opposite the Milk for Santa decal. And I missed a little spot when I was weeding, so I'm going to take that out right now. And there we go. So that is what it looks like. He's so cute. I love him so much. There we go. And now I'm going to go in with my final coats of epoxy. I just did 2 final coats. They were really thin, maybe like 10, 15 milliliters max. You don't need a lot. This is a pretty small cup, so you do not need to use a lot of epoxy. Once those 2 coats were done, we are done with the tumbler part, but I did want to decorate the lid for this milk jug. So here's the lid, and we're going to use UV resin to glitter this. If you want to use regular epoxy, you can. It's just a whole lot easier to use UV resin because you can kind of cure as you go and you won't have any like dripping or any of that. So we're going to use Queen Bee, which is the same glitter we used on the top of our milk jug. And for this, I'm using UV resin from CCDIY. PDB makes a really great UV resin too, but I need to order more of that. So I'm using the CCDIY one, which is another great option. I put about 5-ish milliliters into a cup with quite a bit of Queen Bee. I want this to be pretty thick. I don't want it to move around too much. And I'm just taking a popsicle stick and I'm going to spread this on to the lid in small sections, making sure I get a nice even coat, get some good coverage. I didn't base paint this or anything. I'm just going right in on the stainless steel. And I'm going to do a small section and then cure it with my UV lamp. I got the lamp on Amazon. It's pretty good. And so once I got this small section done, I'm going to cure it for 60 seconds and then I'll move on to the next section. And I'm just going to continue to work my way around the base of the lid, curing section by section as I go, making sure I've got pretty good coverage. So once I've got the whole side or all of the edges of the lid done, I am going to do the top as well the same way. So if you need to add more UV resin to your cup and add more glitter, you can. But you don't need a lot, so I wouldn't mix a whole bunch and then have extra. I mean, you could always use it on like an acrylic blank or something, but I would just mix in small little batches as you go. You can always add more if you need it. So now once the sides are done, we're going to go in and do the top the exact same way. I'm going to cover the entire top, make sure I just have really smooth, even coverage, and get it as well coated as I can. I'm going to cure that for 2 minutes. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the same pattern vinyl that we put on the cup. I cut out a little circle that's 1.625 inches in diameter. So I'm just going to place that right in the middle, get it as centered as I can. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of this UV resin on the top, just clear, I didn't add anything to it, just to seal that vinyl in. Then I'm going to cure that for the full 2 minutes. And then our lid will be all done. So our cup is all done. This is what it looks like in the end. I really love how it turned out, and I'm so glad that I was finally able to make one of these little milk jugs because they are so cute and perfect for Christmas time. So if you liked the tutorial, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel so you don't miss any of our new videos. Remember, this is the kickoff to the 12 days of Christmas, or the first 12 days of December. So make sure you come back tomorrow for another brand new video. I'll be posting a new video every single day for the first 12 days of December. So I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Okay, love you. Bye. I hope you are so excited. I am so excited. Oh God. I am excited, but I hope you're so excited that I'm excited.